Hey everybody, I have tried to record this video twice now, but even my YouTube is having issues, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get this up. We're about to head out to the library. Every couple weeks we go to the library. The girls get to pick out 4 books each because they're 4. I pick out a few books having to do with our theme. Since the girls are in preschool part-time, I kind of get to do our homeschool however I want, which is nice. So with the homeschooling stuff, we have a theme every week, and we go to the library and try and get books that are going to reflect those themes. Since Valentine's Day was a couple weeks ago, our big theme was Valentine's Day, and we just haven't gone back to the library since. So I wanted to do a library haul, what our favorites were and why. So this is one of our favorites, but I'm not going to talk about it with our favorite section. This is just a look and find. It's spot 7. We really like this one. The difference between this look and find is that it's 2 pictures that are almost the same, but there's 7 differences, so you got to find the 7 things that are different. I've really been trying to get the girls to use their brains for strategy, use their brains for finding differences, really taking notice to details. So this is one of our favorites, but this is kind of a recurring favorite. Let's talk about the not so favorites. So in regards to Valentine's Day, this was one of our not favorites, The Valentine's Express by Nancy Elizabeth Wallace. It was cute. It had a cute story. It has some good background about Valentine's Day, how it came around, just some history, but it was really long. Like, it took us a few sittings to get through, and it was just too much for the girls, and it wasn't interesting enough to the girls to really hold their attention. So this was one of our least favorites. Let's see. The other ones we pretty much liked for the most part. So this is probably our next one up. I really like this one. It has a little bit of history. It's not too much for the girls. It's called Valentine's Day Is by Gail Gibbons. It had some cute pictures, like I said, some history about Rome, what it means to give a Valentine. It also has some different Valentine's Day cards examples, a how-to. So this one was cute. It wasn't one of the girls' favorites, but I did like that it had some history. This one, Valentine by Carol Carrick, they liked it, but it is kind of long, so we did have to read this over a couple nights, but it was one of those that they didn't really mind having over a couple nights. The little girl is sad that her mommy has to go to work on Valentine's Day, but her grandma, and she and her grandma discover a baby lamb, and it turns into a good holiday for everybody. So that was cute. It did take a couple, which is why it's not one of our absolute favorites. This one is not necessarily Valentine's Day, but I picked it because it said love on it. It's called Love Monster. It's about being different, and nobody wants to play with this little monster because he's not cute and fluffy, and everybody likes cute and fluffy things. So he goes to find somebody that's the same as him that will love him for who he is, and he is almost going to give up when he finds what he's looking for. And sometimes when you least expect it, love finds you. I really liked this because for us and the girls, the whole sometimes when you least expect it, love finds you thing was really important to our family and the shaping of our family. And I think it's kind of important. You know, we talk about our differences and loving our differences, which is very important, but you know, finding somebody who's similar sometimes is really important as well. So I really liked this one. It kind of pointed out how being different isn't a bad thing, as well as finding somebody who's similar isn't a bad thing either. So I really liked that message. And then we're kind of getting on to favorites. Let's see. This is not a Valentine's Day book. It was one of our lowest of the favorites. This is Charlie and Lola. I'm not sleepy and I will not go to bed. I just love the Charlie and Lola books. I think they're hilarious. Thank you. I think they're hilarious. The pictures make me smile. The amount of Lola's ridiculousness just reminds me of me as a kid, and her imagination is fantastic. I think it's a little weird that the older brother is always taking care of her, but it's kind of just part of the book and all that. So I really like this book. She doesn't want to go to bed. She makes up all this stuff about little animals, imaginary animals doing stuff, but he finally gets her into bed. It's cute. Hold on, baby.
Okay.
So the girls picked out 4 books each. Veggie picked out Fiesta para 10. This one is cool. It's a counting book about the grocery store, so they talk about different things from the grocery store, counting 1 to 10, to do with a family, but it's in Spanish. So this one was funny because I was the only one who could read it. Jeremy cannot speak Spanish, read Spanish let alone. So it was cute, a little bit below them because it's a counting book. Please don't climb on the side of my furniture.
Okay.
But it was difficult for our family because I'm the only one who speaks Spanish. Elmo's Little Dreidel, it was cute, really short. Taught them a little bit about Hanukkah, but again, a little bit below them just because of it's Sesame Street. But the story behind it was good. I liked that it introduced them to something different than we celebrate. Something definitely below them, Babies First, My Feelings, a mirror book. She liked looking at the babies. She liked looking at the mirror, but we didn't ever read it. And then she picked one of our favorites, so I'll get to that in a second. Bop picked Down by the Bay, which is just a singing book, the Down by the Bay song. We read it once or twice, and it's a Rafi book. So Flip Flap Fly was cute. Talks about different animals, their relationship with their mommy. Mommy's encouraging them, different things they do, how they move. So that was cute. Not one of our favorites, but it was cute. And then Everything Goes Beep Beep Beep, definitely below them, but a cute one for little kids, introducing different kinds of vehicles, counting, colors, all kinds of things. Traffic jam at the end is what it is. It's a big traffic jam. But it was one they picked, and when they pick, sometimes they get really books that are just below them. So, on to our favorite books. Favorite books that are not Valentine's Day. Mama Mama and Papa Papa. It's a flip over book. It's a board book. It was really cute. It's a little poems for different kinds of animals. It was just really cute. I liked how all the little babies were relying on their mommies and daddies. The pictures were great. It was nice and short and sweet, and then you could flip it. And I liked that it was separate, Mama Mama and Papa Papa, because there's not that many books that include both but are separate. But I really liked that it was kind of a little bit different. Another one that is not Valentine's Day but definitely a favorite, National Geographic's People. Talks about different ages, different races, different hair colors, what people look like, which person do you think is going to work, how do you know, which person do you think is traveling, how do you know, which of these people are women, which of these people are men, that kind of thing. So it was really cool to see how they thought, how they interpreted who's a man and who's a woman, who's a child and who's an adult, that kind of thing. And it really was able to open up that conversation of different nationalities, different races, different ages, different abilities, that kind of thing. So I really liked this one. I would definitely buy it, even though it's technically a little baby book. Let's see. All right. The only favorite that was a Valentine's book was Heart to Heart by George Shannon. It had some really cute pictures, and it's just a story about a squirrel, and I think it's a mole. Yeah. Squirrel and his best friend Mole, and Mole sent a Valentine's, and Squirrel totally forgot, so he's running around to get a Valentine's ready, and he keeps having all these great ideas, but then he can't find anything, and then he realizes that he can make the best Valentine ever out of things that come from their memories together. So just little trinkets that come from all the things they've done together, and it's the best Valentine's Day ever. And I really liked the message behind it, and they really loved it. They loved how he was kind of scurrying around. So this was one of our favorites. We read it a lot. And now on to the other favorites. So something that's a very important thing for us right now, lying. Ruthie and the Not So Teeny Tiny Lie. This talks about how lying can start out as something small, maybe even unintentional, and then it can get bigger and bigger and just eat away at you, and the only way to really feel better about it is to come clean. But we really liked this book. It really opened up that conversation for lying, and that's something that's kind of big with their age right now and their stages. So this was a really important book for us. I believe we are going to buy it. The pictures were pretty good. We talk a lot about different people in history. The Beatles were fab, and they were funny. We loved this book. We read it and sang it, and it talks a lot about different history aspects of the Beatles. You know, how they talked, how they did their shows, just the kind of history behind them, how they picked their name, how they got big, and Beatlemania, and it was awesome. So I really liked this book. It introduced some of their song titles. So whenever their song titles came up, we would sing the song. Talked about different instruments. We really liked this one. Partly, we really like the Beatles, so this one was one of our favorites. We would probably buy it, but I do like to buy books that introduce groups and people throughout history to the girls. So my absolute favorite for the week, sorry this video is kind of all over the place, is How Full Is Your Bucket for Kids. Now it was kind of funny because Megan, Sustainably Chic mom, or mommy, I can't remember which, I'll try and link her channel below, but she posted on Facebook a few days ago, a week ago, 50 more best books or something for kids, most something books for kids, and there was a list that this person or this group had made on a website before about 50 most influential, I think, books for kids, and then they made 50 more, and this one was one of them. And we picked this up before that list was posted, so it was kind of funny when she posted. I was like, we just picked that up at the library. I love it. So for adoption, something we talk about a lot is the red bucket and the red bucket needs. Red bucket needs are your most basic needs, and every set of needs is a bucket. So your most basic needs are in this one red bucket, and anything beyond that, developmental, oh my gosh, I have huckleberry slime on me, developmental, emotional, everything besides the most basic of needs is in other buckets. And you have to fill up your red bucket to get to the other buckets. This talks about something similar. It's about your emotional bucket. So it follows this kid through his day and talks about his grandpa introduces a bucket, and every time you have a bad experience or every time you have something that makes you a little bit sad, it takes away from your bucket. Your bucket drips out a little bit, and the bucket gets kind of more empty as he's going along because bad stuff is happening and he's having a bad morning. And then some good stuff starts to happen. So once the good stuff starts to happen, water starts to drop into his bucket. So instead of dripping out, it's dropping in. And he figures out at some point that everybody has a bucket. Everybody has an emotional bucket. And you can do things to make their buckets more full. So helping people out, being nice, saying hello, all of these things put drops into other people's bucket and help them feel better about their day or themselves. And the odd thing about that, he figured out, is that as you help others, it helps your bucket become full too. So it even introduces buckets for animals, because animals must have buckets too. So this was a really great book. This is something that's been really important for us. We've had a lot of time talking lately about, how we treat other people and how it makes people feel when you do whatever it is you're doing. So this has been awesome. We are definitely going to buy this book. I think the story behind it is perfect for a big age range. The pictures are really good. The idea behind it is fantastic, and they executed the story really well in just multiple aspects. So I love this book. This one was probably our favorite by far. So that's our library haul and our favorites. I totally expected it to be 5 minutes, so sorry it's 15. But I will talk to you guys later, and that's it for Mommy Money. Bye.